Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back once again to nfthub.io. So today we have some quick updates for you guys. I've been on Telegram trying to get some information, but they're not really giving me too much information what this Hero V2 is. And also, Ritesh, thank you very much. I know you've been trying to help me keep posted on what's going on Telegram, especially with Alinx. I appreciate your help. And yes, I'm going to take your suggestion into consideration. I know I keep my videos long, so I'm going to try to make it short. All right, guys, it is time to level up and game on. A few things first. Everything that I'm going to state now is based on what I know for now, currently, until things changes. One thing I did notice, a lot of people mentioned when it came to the staking, they kept saying, what about the gas fees? What about the gas fees? What about the gas fees? And I finally understood why everybody kept saying that. So I'm going to admit when I was partially wrong, and yes, I definitely did some miscalculation where I was partially wrong. And you guys going to understand why I say partially. So here is the reason why everybody's stating that. For example, let's go into hero farming. Okay, by the way, with the hero farming, there's a V1 and V2. I think I understand what the V2 is, and I'll explain to you guys. Okay, for now, V1. If you guys notice, I'm sure you guys noticed by now, if you have a template, you get a much higher. It's much higher. It's 8,000, where if you have an archer, it was 500. The thing is, you put one archer, you put one Templar, you're only paying one gas fee. If you're putting in archers, you're going to have to put one archer, two archer, three archer. By the time you get to 20 archers, that's 20 transaction fees to get in there. If you're going to do this, you would have to leave it for the long run, where rather than getting like a 8,000 APY, you have 30 archers, maybe you be getting, let's say, like about 12,000. That's an extra 4,000. I think by the time you get to 30, we said it was almost like 4,000 to 7,000 more. So you could be getting almost about 15,000 rather than 8,000. But it is going to cost you gas fee every time you put an archer in. Now, here's where I say partially. You remember I told you guys you can stake your archers, get the APY for 24 hours, pull them out, and then go do the fighting. After you do your fighting, let's say you have 10, right? You're going to have 10 archers farming. You pull them out. Now remember, every archer you pull out is going to cost you a gas fee. So we're going to stick with 10. On average, it's about 60 cents. It seems like every time we put archer in or get an archer out. The transaction fees are about 60 cents. So if you have 10, it's going to cost you roughly about $6 to get them out. Then you're going to go do this fighting. We're going to come back here for a second. When you're done doing this fighting, you collect these tokens as well. You're going to go back and you're going to restake them for the next 24 hours. That's another $6 for a total of 10 archers. So 6 to get out, 6 to get in, that's $12. Be careful. If the price of the Alix token is pumping, and let's say it keeps moving up, we're going to come back to this in a second. Let's say it keeps going up. If you cost $6 to get out 10, $6 to put 10 back, that's $12. You should be making at least $20 on this farming. So that's when your profit is costing you $6 in transaction fee to get in, $6 in transaction fee to get out. So that's a total of $12. So if you're not making at least $20 where you're pocketing at least $8, you have to decide what's worth it for you. Now, for everybody who keep mentioning gas fees, gas fees, gas fees, yes, with the Templar you can only put one. Unless this V2 thing changes, here's what I know so far, at least with the V1, so pay attention when this completely updates, when we find out exactly what this is. This is what I know. You can have 30 archers in there currently, unless they're going to change it in this V2. You can have 30 archers in here. If you pull just one of them out, you claim the whole thing. Just pull one. You can have 30 in there. You can have 100 in there. You can have 1,000 in there. If you pull out just one, you're going to take the profit on all of the ones you have in there. And then you can put that one back in. So you're only paying one transaction fee. if you're going to stay in the APY farming. If you're going to stay in the farming, the only time you're going to keep paying transaction fees is when you're putting them in. You get 10, you're going to get 10 transaction fees to put them in. When you're ready to take your money out, you just got to take one of them out, and you're going to get all 10 that have been farming the APY. That I do know. So that's why I say I was partially right, and everybody else I kept saying what about this transaction fee was also partially correct. So I love when people call my BS because that kind of helps me give you guys better information. And I don't know it all. I'm just trying my best to give you guys as much information as I can. So if you are going to, let's say you have 10 archers and you are going to take those 10 archers out of the APY, that would be about $6. You come, you do your fighting, and then you go and you put them back in. Make sure that you're making more than what is going to cost you in your transaction fees. If the also another thing, this is not financial advice. If the token does not shoot back up, it is not worth it to keep taking them out and keep doing the fighting, because when you're fighting, let's say you have 10 archers, that's 20 gas fees you got to pay. Unless they're going to change this like they did with CryptoBlade, where you could come in and you could do both your fights at once instead of doing one fight, transaction fee, another fight, transaction fee. If they let us do both fights on one transaction fee, great. We're going to come back to this 20% in 1 second. In the meantime, I would say if the token price is shooting up, let's say we get back to around here, about 13 or 16 or even up here, then it is absolutely worth it at that point to keep coming to the farming. I also notice this farming here, the APY is much higher. But let's stick to version 1 until we know exactly what version 2 is about. If I have 20 archers, 30 archers in here, which I'm working my way towards, that means if it cost me $6 to go in, $6 to go back out, okay, boom, that's $12. But in the farming 24-hour APY, it's going to be $12 in transaction fee, but I'm making $30 or $40 or $50. Shit, at that point, I don't mind spending $12 because I'm still going to profit $30, $20, $15. If I profit at least 50% of what it costs me to keep going in and out, which means at this point it would be roughly around $20. If I'm profiting $20 on 10, and then it's going to cost me $12, so that's mean I'm actually going to make 20, but it's going to cost me $12 in total transaction to go in and out. I'm still pocketing about $8. Okay, I'm cool with that. But if I'm pocketing $20 and I'm spending $12, that means the APY total is bringing me about $30 a day. Well, that's still $20 extra a day. I don't care about going in and out. I'm still making a bigger profit. So if you end up with 30 and then you're making $100, but it's costing you, let's say, $30 a day to go in and out, or it's costing you $50 a day. Let's say it costs you $50 a day if you have 30. That's just a rough number. Stay with me. If you have 30 of them and it costs you, let's say, about $25 to go in, $25 to go out, that's $50. But on those 30, you're profiting $100 worth of tokens. You're still making $50, even with all those transaction fees. So why would I just keep one Templar and make less money? Yes, I'm paying a lot more transaction fees, but the profit that I'm making on here is paying for those transaction fees. So it's worth it at that point. If we go back up, if we stay down here, here's my option. Here's my advice. Stick all your archers in the farming. Stay away from the fighting, because if you're going to keep paying transaction fee per fight, transaction fee per fight. So let's say you have 10, that's 20 fights, you got to keep paying $6. Or you stick them in the farming, even though you're making less, but you don't have to pay transaction fees. You only need to pay one transaction fee, or technically two, no matter how many you have, because you can stick 100 of them in here. You take one of them out, you're going to collect on everything those 100 make. Then your balance becomes 0, and then you go back in. So here's what I think version 2 may be. I think they're going to do the same shit that they did here, where even when you're farming, it's going to be locked for a period of time. So you can't keep going in and out, in and out, in and out, in and out, and then taking your profits. It may be that if you're staking, you have to leave them stake for at least a week or 5 days. That's the only thing that makes sense. That's the only thing that makes sense to me currently. Why? they would have a version 2, because the whole point of them doing this is to stop people from claiming and then dumping the token on the market, which in a way does help. So the version 2 may be that, unless I'm wrong, please guys let me know. Like I said, I've been on the road, so I'm not 100% sure of what's going on. But I think version 2 may be that, hey, maybe they raised the APY because they took away the 50% bonus on the fighting. So if we have a higher APY, I would say stick them in here, leave them in here, don't go in and out, don't worry about the fighting for now, unless the market goes back up. Because at this point, if you're farming in V2 or V1, whichever, and you have 15, 20 archers, you can put 15, 20 archers in here, collect the APY. When you're ready to collect this, just take one of them out and collect on the whole thing, and then put that one back in. So literally it will cost you $1.20. If the token goes back up, we're going to keep doing our fighting. So at this point, let's get our fights today and see what we're making. Okay, we're going to select this hero, and let's get started. Also, by the way, like I said, they took out the 50, and they opened the last 3 for fights. Also, before we even do this, and like I said, I'm not going to keep the video running too long. We're definitely going to try to keep it, and I'm just going to finish here after we do our fights. The only thing that would make sense, which I think they should change, if you come and you fight with an archer, you have an 80% chance of winning. But if you come in and you're fighting with, let's say, like a Templar or something, these guys should have a higher rate of winning than the archer. Destroyers should have a higher rate. I think they should try and make, this is the only thing that would make sense, archers have a 70% chance. The other guys, let's say like you go from an archer to a fighter, fighter should get like a 83 or 85. This guy should get like a 90. This guy should get like a 92. This guy should get like a 95. And give you a higher chance at this PvE. Until then, take advantage of it, because it doesn't matter which one you use, they all have 80%. It should show your rate higher increasing if you have a better fighter. But until they do that, I'm going to take advantage of this situation. So let's get started. We're going to do our first fight, and let's see how this goes. Also, it seems like to me, if I'm correct, 27 seems to work most of the time. So we're going to stick with 27. Save myself about maybe 8 to 10 cents, I believe. We're going to copy this so we could keep saving it. Confirm. And I don't think it's really 80. I think the winning rate is more like about 70%. Okay? Like I said, remember I told you guys it's going to be about 220. This is 223. So let's do the next fight. Edit. We're going to save ourselves a couple of cents, because they will add up. You see, I know we started with 38, so let's see what we end up with. Okay. Next hero. Okay. Okay, seems like on average I usually lose about 2 or 3 fights at least by the time I'm done. So far we got 3 out of 3, we got 4 out of 4. All right. And this is how I'm planning on keeping things going. If the token goes any lower than what it is now, I think I'm going to get these guys out of here. Like I said, put them for the farming, so that way I can have 5 of them farming and just take 1 out and collect the farming tokens, and then put 1 back in, rather than keep paying all these transaction fees like I'm doing now. If the token price goes any lower and it doesn't come back up. But like I said, if the token comes back up from 006 to maybe like 001, then I'll probably start putting them back in the farming and then pulling each one of them out. I don't care about the gas fees at that point. I will keep going in and out. Or perhaps, come to think about it, that may be what version 2 is, where you can't take them out like I said. They may be putting a stop to that. Because at this point, it's almost like an exploit. So you can come here, use 5, collect all these fightings, and then stick them back in 24 hours later, take them back out, collect your APY, come back here and fight again, using them in both places. Rather than one or the other, using them in both places. Holy crap, we actually did all our fights. We haven't lost anything yet. So we definitely got an 80% winning chance today. Or maybe that was part of the update if everybody else started noticing that, hey, why am I losing so many? It should be 80%. Woo! Okay. All right, guys. This is going to be the deal breaker. If we get this one, that means we won 100% out of all of fights. That's going to be a total of 10 fights. We won 10. Let's see if it happens. See what happened with that last one. And, God, shit. We had to bring it up. Okay. So we won 9. We lost 1. I'm okay with that. We're up to 56. So by the time I'm ready to claim this, I should be able to do another fighter, maybe even 2. Because by tomorrow, I will definitely be at like about 7,000. So if I'm at 7,000 and then I go into the market and I see the archers drop back down to like 31, I'm going to take that 20% loss. I will take that 20% loss and grab 2 of them. Because they go back down to 31, that's going to be about 61, 62, 63 to grab 2 of them. By tomorrow, by the time I'm done, this should be somewhere. Let me see. We was at, what was it, 38 or 28? Something like that. Shit, I don't even remember. But by tomorrow, we should be at least at 70 or maybe 75. So even if I take a 20% loss, I'm still going to have at least 6,000 left or 62, 63, which will give me 2 more if the price drops. Anytime the price drops and it's worth taking that 20% loss, I'm going to take it. So other than that, I think that's pretty much it. We're going to stop the video here under 20 minutes. Like I'm going to say, I'm going to try to make my videos under 20 minutes. So let's see what happened with this. So for last thing I'm going to remind you guys of, if this starts to come up, this is the floor plan right here. See how it stops right here? It stopped right here. It stopped right here. And this bump down, that's where this line came from. I'm going to try to keep it as simple as I can. Let me see. Grab me a quick little pen real quick. That's fine. And we're going to grab it for, let's grab a green one. Okay, let's do this. If this starts to come up here, and then it gets here, chances are it's going to drop back down and maybe come back up. All right, let's delete that. Oh, nope. Delete that. Can we push this over? Here we go. All right, so here's what I'm expecting should happen or could happen. Just grab that. Keep it green. Okay. If this starts to come back up, right? Let's say it goes boom, 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 boom. It gets here. There's a good chance it's going to be a small bounce off. If it does happen to go through, it's probably going to bounce in between this right here for a while. Then it shoots up. If it comes up here, yeah, I could see it going back to at least, that would be 22. That would be roughly around 22. Because you guys see all this action right here. This also stopped here. It also stopped here. That's how you see which way to buy, where to sell. That's just part of trading. So right here will be your next line to let you know if it's going to go back down, if it's going to go back up, or what's going to happen. So if it comes up to here, it does make its way up here, there's a chance that's going to bounce off right here. And it might take a quick dip. If it does come through, we're good. It's probably going to bounce in this range for a while. If it does happen to go past this line right here, which is roughly around 16. So if you see the token going to 17, 18, here's another thing I want you guys to be aware of. There's a good chance. Let me see if I can scroll this down because I want to show you guys. So this is just to help you. Damn it. I don't want to have to redo this video all over again. Okay, here we go. If it gets to about 18, if it passes, that would be about 16. There's a good chance it's going to go from here to here to here to here to here like this. It could bounce. If it goes anything higher than 24, 25, sky's the limit. We don't know where it's going to end up. So be careful. Watch this chart right here. If it starts to come up here, if you want to sell, I would say at that point you could sell 20, 30%. If you want to hold, you hold. But look for a bounce in between these two regions right here, which is between 14 and about 17, just about. You could get a bounce here for a while, consolidate, and if it pops up, this is going to be your next resistance where it could push back down, which is going to be about 23, 24. If it goes any higher than 24, well, okay, good luck and congratulations to everyone that holds. But that's it for now, guys. I hope this helped you guys out. I'm sorry I couldn't get the video in. I'm also going to be out for almost about 5 to 6 days because I have a trip to take to Florida. My next video is going to be some very quick updates on my defipet. As you guys know, some stuff are coming out and some other quick information I want to give you guys. But we're going to keep this all about Alinx, and I will see you guys in the next video. Thank you very much for the almost 300 subscribers. I think we are 292. And with that said, if you got any good information out of this video, leave me a thumbs up, leave me a like. Thank you so very much for the support, and I'll keep you guys informed as best as I can. If you guys have any information would like me to know, drop it in the link or just follow me on Twitter, shoot me a message, and I'll do my best to keep you guys posted. Finally, last and but not least, once again, if the token drop down and it doesn't come back up and it stays around this price range, my advice would be stick them in the APY, whatever this V2 is, once we find out exactly what's going on, because that's maybe what I'm going to do. Throw all my ultras in here and then just take one out and put one back in. Take one out, put one back in every time I want to collect, so I'm only paying transaction fee on one ultra and not all of them. If the token does go back up, then it's time to keep taking them out of farming, fighting, go back to farming, fighting every 24 hours. Alright, I'll see you guys in the next video. In the meantime, level up and game on. See ya!